All right, so we're here with our good friend Stephen Kirkpatrick with Executive Speakers Bureau. They're the ones that work with us on all of our speakers for cityCURRENT. We love them. They're partners. They do an amazing job, and they work with speakers and experts literally around the world. And they have a huge event coming up. It's a virtual event. It's something that I think everyone's going to be really interested. So we're honored to have you, Stephen, come on and talk about this event. May 19th and 20th. It's called Leading Through Change. You have 10 different guest speakers. Go ahead and tease us a little bit with the overview, and then we'll dive into some of the specific speakers.
Awesome, man. First of all, Jeremy, thanks so much for having me. We love cityCURRENT. cityCURRENT was actually our first big client, and we have been with y'all pretty much since the beginning. But we love what you're doing at cityCURRENT. Love that it's in Memphis. Love that we're part of Memphis too. And we're looking forward to being back in the Great Hall live, Jeremy, as I'm sure everyone is. But until then, we're trying really hard to provide people with actionable, specific content that they can use right now and help them navigate through change. And so one of the things, whenever we kind of looked at how we can kind of help people through this, was looking at the decisions that leaders have to make. Because I think that we're in times where there's not really a playbook. There's not really a roadmap. Even when I'm talking to people, people are saying, well, you know, I kind of went through this in 2008. You know, this 9/11 was a little bit like this too, but we've never seen really in any of our lifetimes something where everything was just shut down like this. And so there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of speculation. And so one of the great things that our speakers have done is they have produced pandemic-specific content. So all of these 10 speeches, webisodes, trainings, whatever you want to call them, are specifically tied to what we're going right now. So they're specifically written, thought of, and researched to answer the questions that some people may have. So this is really open and great for any kind of leader. It can be an emerging leader. It can be an existing CEO, large companies, small companies. It's all going to be questions that you have. And I think each speaker we have is a little bit different. So there's not going to be kind of any overlap. So it's going to be really good, and you're going to benefit from each one of the speakers. But again, like you said, it's May 19th and 20th, and really it's just kind of something we want to offer up to the community, just saying, hey, we're here to help, and this is something that could be good for you.
Well, I like the fact that these are all well-known names. We've had some of them like Jim Davidson speak and become friends with them, and so we know their story very well. But like you say, this is exclusive content, so it's different than their normal keynotes and presentations that you would see physically at an event. This is material that they're packaging and putting together and researching and kind of putting their story and their spin on, specific for what we're dealing with. And so this is content that you're not going to find anywhere else, only on this virtual summit and this event that you're putting together.
Yeah. So, I mean, a couple of the speakers, just to highlight some of their, some things we're talking about. So one of our speakers is a former Amazon executive, John Rossman. He's a best-selling author, but he's talking about nimbleness and innovation, lessons learned from Amazon. I mean, and Amazon is always in the news, but also specifically in the news. And he's going to talk about specific steps that Amazon takes in their day-to-day operations that have set them up to thrive not only now, but he's also going to talk about, hey, here's some things you need to think about as a leader going forward from this, from the prism of Amazon. You know, then you mentioned Jim Davidson. Jim Davidson, his talk is titled Facing Everest-Like Uncertainties. You know, Jim's a climber. He summited Mount Everest, but he also got stuck in a 7.8 magnitude earthquake in Nepal in 2015. He survived a double avalanche. So he knows what it's like to overcome adversity. Those are two. There's another great guy called Ben Hammersley. He's a futurist. He actually, Jeremy, this is pretty crazy. Ben is credited with inventing the word podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
We owe him all a debt of gratitude.
Yes, we do. So anyways, like I said, so he did that, but he's doing something called the Great Reassessment. And so basically Ben spends a lot of time looking in the future, and he really says, hey, this is a great time for us to look at where we are, see what our goals, our core values are, and then reassess how we can carry them out as we get out from under this. So that's just a couple of different things. And again, you've got one who's kind of coming from a personal experience of what he learned. You've got one who's coming at it from Amazon and how they're doing their current operations and how they're going to come out of this and what they're doing right now to set themselves up for success. And then you've got one who's literally, he lives in the future, 10, 15 years down the road, of saying, how can you set up now? What are the questions you need to ask now? So 10, 15 years down the road, you've actually grown through this crisis. And I think that's the big thing, Jeremy, thinking about this. I know that, you know, with cityCURRENT, and you and I have talked about this too, we're going to get through this. When, what it's going to look like, we don't know, but we're going to get through this. And it's one of those things of, how are you using this time? Are you using this just to kind of sit around and watch the news all day? Or are you using this to reassess, to learn best practices, to invest in yourself? So
Absolutely. I agree 100%. It's forcing us all to prioritize what's most important, but to your point, to spend your time coming out stronger and making the pivots that are necessary. And I view all of this as a chance for us to learn from others and to see what others are doing well and not so well, and take that into our own and be able to reformulate that so that we can make the transitions that are in our best interest so that we do come out stronger on the other side. Because like you said, at some point, events are going to come back. At some point, things are going to normalize. All the stores will open back up and be at full capacity. But until then, we have to innovate and come up with new ideas to still maintain the business and move forward. And we might have to work a lot harder to create that momentum now more than ever. But if we aren't doing that, we're putting ourselves and our teams at a disservice. And so I feel like all of this is really helpful content that's only going to make us stronger. So talk about where to go to sign up, to access the information. Where do we go to start taking those steps?
Yeah, awesome. Really easy. www.esbvirtualsummit.com. You can also go to the Executive Speakers Bureau website. It's on our title page. Just click on that. You can see all the speakers with their bios, their speech breakdown, and also a place to register. And we've got group deals as well as company-wide deals. So I mean, if you wanted to buy something for your whole company, we've got that as well. So we're just trying to set it up so it can be individual person, or if you have a team of 20 that can come in and do it. Look at it. The cool thing too is, I don't know if you're an Office fan, but COO of Dunder Mifflin, Andy Buckley, is going to be our MC. So he's got some pretty good Office jokes. So we're going to give you a little humor too. If you're a Big Bang Theory enthusiast, this is actually cool too. So Mike Massimino, who's an astronaut, who's also on Big Bang Theory, he's going to talk about how to thrive while working in isolation. I mean, he's got a perspective on it. It's pretty amazing because, I mean, as an astronaut in space, you're in isolation. He's got some amazing tips for how to do it. And I think too, one of the things, you've got these speakers, Mike Massimino is typically $35,000 to hear for a keynote, but I mean, you've got him with all these other speakers packaged into one event. So we're trying to provide a good value, and the speakers know that too. They're trying to provide good value for people. So
I mean, you look at the cost. I mean, it's about almost a $200,000 value in terms of the content of these speakers. But at the same time, obviously, you've built it into where it's very affordable for an individual, a company, a group of people. The other cool thing is really sticking to the mission that I love about Executive Speakers Bureau is you all as a team are very philanthropic and give back oriented. And there's even an element of that too, where you've got some of the proceeds that are going to support like Mid-South Food Bank. So you're giving back and making this a vehicle as well to be able to create change in the community. Yeah,
and that was a big thing for us too. Whenever we looked at it, so one of the great things about Executive Speakers Bureau is we're in Memphis. We're a part of cityCURRENT. We love cityCURRENT. I'm in board. We're really involved with St. Jude. I'm on the board of some local not-for-profits as well too. So Memphis is very much in our DNA. Most people, I mean, I'm not from here. I've lived in Memphis for a long time, but a lot of people in our office are from here. So it's very important that we support Memphis, and that's why the Mid-South Food Bank made so much sense. But also too, we're on a national scale, and so we have another charity we're supporting as well too. But it was really important for us saying, hey, we really want to support the Mid-South Food Bank and do something local because there's a lot of people in need. So that was another thing that was really important for us to do.
So tell them one more time how to access all the information and where to go.
Yes, www.esbvirtualsummit.com or our website, executivespeakers.com. Either one of those places will get you there. If you have links, if you need to troubleshoot or have more questions, and we're looking forward to next week. It'll be great, and we just appreciate cityCURRENT being a part of it, Jeremy. And thanks for the time.
Yep, absolutely. Well, like I said, we love you all, and Stephen, thank you all for all you do as well. Thanks for coming on.
Awesome, man. Jeremy, we'll see you soon, buddy.